Okay, Tawana, it is me giving you the video that you requested. All right, in here, in this luggage is all my nail stuff. So I brought it out here in the dining room so I can spread everything out on this table. And so let's just do that. All right, let me move everything out of the way here. I am going to get a larger dining room table because this one it's too small. You know, it worked for a while, but nah, not no more. But anyway, this is it. I know it's a lot, right? But this is what you wanted, so I'm sharing. In here is all of my, wait a minute, is refills. All of this in here is extra dip. See those jars? These are all extra dip jars. These are some extra things in here that I forgot to put away. Okay, here is my mat that I use. I think this is Pioneer Woman or something, but this is the mat that I use. And here is my gel lamp, and we're going to plug that in. Now, I'm not going to do the 2-hour session. Okay, let me put this down here. I am not doing a 2-hour session. It's like an hour for every hand. It's a lot, you know. So this is just one of the ways that I do my nails. I do the full-on manicure. After the manicure, let everything air dry for a while, and then I get my tips and then glue my tips on, shape them up a little bit, and then I do the dip 3 times. And then after that, you know, if I did dip clear, then I can put gel polish on and do it that way. And that takes 2 hours, an hour a hand, sometimes 2 hours, 15 minutes. I have to put a movie on. But today, I just don't have the energy for that. Sorry. So in here is all of my refill nail polishes. There's gel and standard. And in here is just all of my nail files, my soft, my hard, my big buffers. And then on this side is nail dry, which I use if I'm going to have regular nail polish. And in here, this is where the magic happens. All right, now, let's see what we got in here. In here is, what do I have in here? Okay, here is my portable handheld gel light. And in here is nail glue. So we're going to bring that out. That's where I store the nail glue. And in here is all of the different types of nails. But they're all tips, white tips, clear tips. And then we have, white tips, clear tips. So all that is in there. And then in here is nothing. Okay, cool. And in here, I believe this is my electric. Okay, these are all, this is my electric nail file. So that's what that is. Because if you're going to dip, you're going to have an electric nail file. And in here is, these are all nail polish rags and acetone. So that's what's in there. And I don't think, nope, there's nothing in the back. And like I said, in here is just the dip powder. These here need to go in the refill section, but we're going to leave it out for now. And then this is a new shade of blue that I found. And it's too big to keep in my magic bag. This would go with the refills, but I have a smaller bottle that I can mix this in. And yeah, I do mix color to create and get that perfect shade. So let me just sit this here. And nope, I need to sit this here. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you up on this mount. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. So hold on. All right, so I should put some music on or something, because it is like dry. All right, but we're here, we're doing it. So you want me to do my nails for you? Sis, I love you, so I'm going to do my nails for you. All right, now I told you that this is the bag where all the magic happens. This little pouch right here is where everything is. This is my tool kit. That's where all that stuff goes. That's like the manicure stuff. And in here is just hand sanitizer, a spoon, which I use for a different method of dipping. This for just soaking off nails. And this is just something I used to use for artwork on my nails. But while we are here, I'm going to do this because this helps dry the nail bed. So I've already done my manicure, because that would really make the video really long. So as you can see, I've pushed back my cuticles, I've trimmed everything, and I'll show you what I used. I buff my nails, trim them, clip them, make them short because they grow really fast. And I use this fork to trim off the cuticle. Some people, they like to use, they like to use this to trim their cuticles. And it's just picking. But me, I just simply take this and I just go all the way around. And I just get it all up in one scoop. But like I said, I've already done it, but it's not perfect. So let's go across there. See that? So we'll do this. We'll go through this one just to get any excess. My cuticles are thick, and they get thick so quickly. But there we go. All right, so put that in. All right, I didn't mean to do that on there. All right. And so these are the big buffers. And then here are the little ones, and all these are the different brushes and tools. And in here is what I use, the brushes to clean under the nail after I'm done. If it needs. And in here is, this is the designs the flowers that I put on my nails. And here is some extra colors that I didn't have a place for, but they are not gel, but I love it. So I just stuck them in there because I don't want to forget that I have them. All right, so, and here is a cloth that I always need. And these right here when I gel my nails, this right here helps to prevent cancer. So I can have as much, you know, so when I stick my hand under the lamp, all of this isn't exposed. So that's what that is for. And then here are my glasses and my mask, because the dust can get really thick. But if I put this on, you won't be able to hear me as well. But I will put on these little glasses. And this is the dip that I use, which is Chiara Sky, and this is clear. By using clear, I can control what color I want. And so we shake that up. And we will use that. And then here is all the things, right? All the things. This is an old base coat, and it's almost empty. So I'm going to replace that with this base coat, which goes in this little pocket. And this is an old top coat, which I'm going to replace with this no wipe top. Okay, whatever that means. So everything is like categorized. All of these colors that are, I don't know if you can see, but all of these colors that are around here are all color categorized. Here's my French manicure, or American, you know, baby boomer, ombre. And then we have the colors, they just change up. And then all of these colors here are colors that I don't even use anymore. Look at that. It's not even any good. This is if I wanted to create a French or American manicure without gel. So we're going to get rid of that. And this right here is just, yeah, we'll put that there. And we'll put this here. And then this is a blue black with a little glitter. This is the top coat that goes in the middle. And these are the colors. That's the top coat. This is a color that I will never use. This is a color I use frequently. This I use frequently. And this I use frequently. But as you can see, Tawana, it is so old that we're going to get rid of it today and go through my stash and replace all of these old polishes that, you know, I don't use. I will never use this. But it's really, really pretty. And, you know, I'll keep it. But, so, and these are the dippers. And this is the brush cleaner. So, that's that. So, I'm going to move it out of the way. And let's put some music on, okay? YouTube. So, how are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're doing good this beautiful Saturday. I'm hanging in there. All right. We got some fall music going with some rain and some drizzle. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the other thing I do. This right here is my little portable pouch. This is when I need to do my nails on the go. When I say on the go, I mean anywhere in the house, especially right by the bed. And in here is just all my tools. And then here is just these right here, and then a top coat, and then some files, and then in here is a cloth, some emergency nail glue, and these nails do not go in the nail bag, in the black bag. These are not tips. These are complete full overlay nails. These are my emergency nails when I don't feel like doing the work. So we have, this is from Kiss, Premium Classy Baby Boomer Ombre, coffin shape. And these are the same thing as that, but no color. So that way you can make it whatever you want. So these are the two that I hoard. I was going to do Baby Boomer, but since I got this new blue, let's do the blue. And then this is the glue that goes in here with it. And I'll use that since this other glue really goes in that black thing. But we're going to try this and see what this is like. See if I like it. All right. So, and then this is my cloth that goes in here. And I'm going to just set everything aside for right now. And we're going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to try not to make this video too long. So what I'm going to do is, there's some glue, that sticky stuff on here. And some of the black, because I had the black nails on. And the thing about the black nails is the black rubs off onto your nail. I don't understand it. I don't get it, but it does. So we're just going to trim up get some extra skin off of there. Make it as clean as possible. And I know it's not going to be perfect. But like this right here, I can't stand that. And you know what? That was the last of those nails. I will not use those nails again. They were, I don't remember what they were. They were Kiss. And they had the glue, they had the sticky stuff on the bottom. But I still put glue on it because they slip and slide. And I don't know, I can't explain why that even happens, but the black comes off on your nail. And it makes you look so dirty. But it is what it is. So that was the last of those nails. So I got some black ones again, but they do not have the glue. You know, they don't have that sticky stuff on it. So we'll see. We will see if that black rubs off. Because that is so, I don't like that at all. All right, so let me just move the trash. I shouldn't call it trash, but you know, you got to throw it away at some point. All right. And I need my brush because I want to get off any stuff. All right. So this one is too small. But I would keep this because, say, for example, I had an emergency and, you know, I needed a nail. And all of the ones that fit ran out. I would have something. I don't like these because they come in so narrow. But it's okay. You know why? Because I'm going to dip them. That's too big. So I think I'm going to use this one. But the thing of it is that when I dip it, I can cover up the gap. And plus, I make these nails sturdier. I like my nails to feel like I came out of the salon. I like them to feel sturdy. And these press-on nails, even though they're the premium classy, they're not strong enough for me. So, I hate that glue, that stuff is stuck on there. All right, so this is this Gorilla Glue. You can unscrew it and squeeze it on, or if you want, you can unscrew it and use the brush. I prefer the brush, but I don't recommend this glue for anything because the shelf life is very short. It really is. This Gorilla Glue lasts longer. And you know when your glue is like starting to go bad because it's just has that sticky. All right, so let me sit that there. So, okay, so I'm gonna just press and hold. I can't believe you want this video. I can't believe that you really want to see me do this. That is insane. Oh my gosh, I am like the most boring person. Seriously. All right, so, but usually I would have a movie on, you know, while doing something like this. But that's going to be kind of irritating for you in the background. I was watching Looney Tunes. You remember the episode where Daffy Duck scared the heck out of Porky Pig by pretending to have a split personality? That was what I was watching with my cereal. Okay, so so this can go on the other hand. So I'm just going to do one hand. And then at the end, you'll see all of them completely done. Because then this video will be really long. Okay, so this one fits good. So I'm pushing the cuticle back a little bit. And then we're going to get some of this glue that isn't going to last too much longer. So yeah, but I definitely do a manicure first. I know people say you don't need to do a manicure if you're going to do a dip, but I do it. It's a thing for me. I want my nails to look and feel clean and intact. So if I don't do them, I'm not going to sweat anything. They're not going to look too nasty. But this black stuff, oh my gosh, you know, that irks me. All right. All right. But this is what I do. So this is our girls' day. All right, so we're just gonna hold this a little bit longer. Okay. And then we just make sure that these sides are legit. I actually have a tool that I can use for that. But since this, this thing is, I have the big metal one I showed you in my toolkit, but I don't feel like getting it. All right, so that looks done. All right, so that's too big. All right, here's a, oh, that thumb is too big. All right, let's see here. I can use this because I'm gonna, you know, but yeah. Let me see. All right, let's try this. All right, so these two obviously match. Let's see if this one is better. Nah, not at all better. All right, so, okay, we got a winner. All right. So, There's that. We put that glue on there. And then we just press and hold. So like I said, I will do one hand with you. And then we'll do a little something at the end so that way you can see. So I hope you are doing good. I said that earlier, but I really mean it. It's not just part of conversation. I hope that you are doing good. There's so much going on in the world, right? I mean, gosh, you know, phew, it's too much. It's too much every day, every day, every day, every day. And it's just too much. So yeah, when I say I hope you are doing good, it is not just part of my routine, you know, for a video or something. All right, so let's go to this and see. Okay, that is way too tiny. That's not working. That's too big. That's not gonna work. All right, how about this? Okay, that will work. And you can, you know, put the nail glue right on the nail and then flip it over, but sometimes it drips. So I just put it on my nail. Right, and press and hold. And pretty soon I'm gonna have to get a fan because it's starting to get a little bit warm in here. But it's just me. It's just me. Okay. So these usually last 2 weeks unless I am doing a lot of dishes or my hand is in a lot of water or I'm doing just more than I would normally do. But these usually last 2 weeks. Sometimes I just get sick of them and I just pull them off. That's why I keep my nails short. I don't let my nail grow out anymore. Really not digging that, but all right. And I don't like pushing it too close to the cuticle. So how was your day? Leave me something in the comments. What did you do today? What was the best thing about today? What did you eat today? How's your daughter and your husband doing? And did you get that bookshelf completed yet? No, I know you didn't. You've been working on that bookshelf forever. That's why I say you need me and Cherie to come down there and we got to help you get that bookshelf together. Come on now. That would be fun. That really would be fun. So as far as me, let's see, in keto, I'm still keto-fied, getting better and better at it. I made a video about some steak and potatoes because let me tell you, I miss potatoes. I don't care what you do, how you try to fix it up, I miss potatoes. All right, so let me get this little softener thing. I'm just going to soften up these edges and prepare this nail bed for dipping. But yeah, I'm hanging in there, you know. Some days are really easy, and then some days I feel the test, the weight of it. And so I always keep keto soup which is just keto vegetable soup with chicken breast in it. So that way when I'm feeling like, man, I want some Royal Farm fried chicken, you know, I'll just go and eat that soup. And, you know, you just got to do what you got to do. Hey, did that lady ever find her dog? Remember the little dog that we were upset about? And we thought that somebody came and stole the dog out of the lady's yard? Remember that? You were telling me about that? Did that dog ever get recovered? See, I don't forget stuff. I try not to anyway, especially stuff, you know, that was like important. And I know that was devastating and sad for you. It was sad for me too. All right, so now you can go and just polish these or just leave these as is and go about your day. Really, but that's just not me. I need. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, so anybody that's watching, if this video is too long for you, I apologize. This is a request for a special friend, and this is what she wanted, and I don't want to cut her short, you know. So we're going through this process with this one hand. She wants to see what I do. This is what I do. This is one of my methods. Okay, so this is the Kiara Sky base coat. I don't use the primer. It doesn't work. So all I want to do is just strengthen this. And to give it more of a nail salon, more of a salon look. But I have gotten compliments on my nails, and I appreciate that. So you see, I'm putting some of this stuff right in here, because that is going to make me feel secure. All right, and then we're just going to dip it right in here. Make sure it's covered. All right, and now I'm going to leave it alone. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this nail. Not going down to the cuticle. Now, this method may not work for someone else, Tawana, but this is what works for me. And that's what my channel is about. Just sharing with you what works for me. And hoping that you can be blessed by it, come up with your own creations, or just copy me. You know, I'm hating this weather. Oh my Lord, Tawana, remember when you said you went to the door to go out and then you slammed the door shut and went right back in the house? I get depressed real bad in the summer. Some people get winter blues. I get summer blues. Because I can't go to the beach now because it's too hot. I can't go walking like I want. You know, I can't go to the window like I want and pray like I want because it's just so hot and there's so many bugs and mosquitoes and everything is contaminated. So yeah, I get cabin fever. All right, I'm going to go plug in the charger so that way I can get this light back on. So hold on. Hold on. I have a 12-foot cord. Okay. Somebody's car alarm is going off. I wish I could get that. Yep, battery is too low. I know it's not mine because mine is in the opposite direction, but this is probably going to be too dark, and I do apologize for that, but I got to do better with monitoring my battery life. So I'm going to do the same thing with this nail. But somebody's car alarm has been going off now for about an hour straight. You got a problem, you know what I mean? And nobody, I don't see anybody calling the police. I think somebody must have bumped somebody's car over in the old folks home. And that assistant living home where I wish I was at sometimes. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And once I'm done with the first coat, I'm going to go and do it again. So what I do is I take and I brush this downward. Now this one, I'll let it sit for a while. So now I've got that look. So I'm going to pause the video while I do this a second time, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to try and see if I can get that. Yep, we got our light back. Okay, so now this has all been done, but we are not close to being done. So what I'm going to get now is step 3, which for me is really step 2, and that's the seal protectant. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to put the seal protectant in before we buff, because I want to secure this. So yeah, like what I was saying, the heat is so terrible, and I've been inside a lot. You know, it's where I wear jackets and hoodies in my house because my house is always, you know, cold for the most part, I guess you could say. So I'm soaking this in that sealant, especially on the side here, because I want that to be hard. I don't care that it's not coming out and all the way to the top. I don't care about that. I just need it to be secure there. All right. So yeah, Tawana, I went outside. I made a video about it because I was going to do a video. You know how I do the videos, spend the day with me. And I was going to do some cooking, and I was going to do some things. And I went outside, and I was going to take y'all with me, but I said, well, let me go and straighten up a little bit out there. And I came in, and the next thing I know, I thought I was going to die. I thought it was time for me to go home, which was not a problem with me, for me, actually. But I was lightheaded. I wasn't nauseous, but I was extremely lightheaded. I knew I was going to pass out. I knew it. Only this time I'm home alone. And I just need to get to somewhere safe. So that way, if I pass out, I'm not going to get hurt, you know. Because I've passed out on the kitchen floor and landed on the back of my head, and I had a hair clip in the back of my head. So when I landed, my head hit the floor with the hair clip in it, and that hurt. And I didn't know it until after I came to, you know, and I was like, wow, my head is hurting, and I understood what had happened. So now we get these and this and this. So yeah, so I'm like, so I'm asking Robbie, you know, my chat GPT, something's happening with me. Can you please tell me what's wrong? These are my symptoms. This is what I'm feeling. Well, what did you do prior to that? You know, because I was talking to you before, you were fine. And I'm like, all I did was I went outside. It looked like there was a breeze. The wind was blowing. I thought maybe it would be sweep and stuff. And then I went out there, and then I came back in. I did this, and I went back out again, and I did that. And I went out 3 times. And on the 3rd time when I came in, that's when I felt this type of way. So I gave him all of my symptoms and told him what was going on. And he said, that is heat exhaustion. He said, and you being on keto probably amplified it. And I said, yeah, because everybody else go out in the heat. And I done had 3 grocery deliveries today. And ain't nobody, you know, pass out or get sick, at least not that I know of. But I mean, people are still living their lives. I can't do this heat thing. I'm very heat sensitive. Always have been. So he's like, no, it's dangerously hot for someone like you. You cannot go outside. He said, you could have a heat stroke. He said, you really could die. Your body can't not handle it. And so he was like, I need you to drink some electrolytes right away. And he said, I need you to drink some cold water. I need you to put an ice pack on your head. I need you to lay down or sit down. But oh my gosh, it was so strong. Woo, it was so strong. I was like, oh, today's the day that I die. Today's the day that I leave. Gary is going to come home from work and his wife is going to be dead on the floor or dead on the love seat somewhere. She's going to be dead. And he is going to be devastated because I am going to be dead. And you know me, I'm ready to go. But sure as people I want to say goodbye to. All right, so there is the thumb. All right, and so that is how I buff them and make sure that it's smooth. And we'll do one more together. I do not feel like getting my electric file out. I really don't. And honestly, I don't need it. Because this is not that serious. But yeah, I had put out a video and I was like, does anybody know what's going on? Does anybody know what's happening with me? And I was like, has anybody experienced this? What do you do? What do you do? You know, how do you get over this? How long is it going to last? How long am I going to suffer? Is it too late? Am I going to die like maybe a little bit later? So yeah, that was scary. Because I just literally felt like somebody had drugged me. This was not like a NyQuil fix. This was worse. This was like, oh, I'm not going to make it. You know, I'm not going to make it. So I can see how people can definitely die of a heat stroke or have a heart attack or whatever and just, you know. Okay, so see that one's ready and it's smooth and it's sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these last 3 and then I will be back in a jiffy. Hold on. Okay, I am back, my dear. And I'm tired. I'm tired. That incident happened earlier today, and I just feel an overwhelming tiredness come over me. So we're going to do this one hand, and then I might do this hand tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I can't predict anything because I'm telling you, it's like you just don't know. It's like I can say I'm gonna do this or I want to do that, and my body will say, yeah, you want to, you think so, but it ain't happening. All right, so I'm gonna close. That's closed, and this is closed, and this is the brush saver. Stick that in there. Where is my brush? So yeah. All right. All right, so all right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put on the glove. All right. And I'm going to get this thing here. And we're going to move this so you guys can see here. Okay, there we go. All right. Move this back and put that right there. Okay, so now I got this going, and so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use this base coat. All right, I'm gonna put a thin layer. Right, like that. And then we're going to do and this base coat, this just, it does what a base coat is supposed to do, but it does a little bit extra. The polish is just totally different with the base coat. Totally different. I tried it without it, and I was like, oh no, I gotta have a base coat. Okay. Ooh, that stuff is strong. Okay, let me set that there. All right, so now I'm just gonna put this on 10 seconds real high because it's just a thin base coat. Okay, so I'm done for the base coat. Now I need to pick what kind of color I want to wear. And I want my florals. So we're going to get that. And we're going to try out this new blue. I don't know if I'm going to like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my illustration finger. So that way if I don't like it, the rest of my fingers can be something different. It's a pretty blue. All right. Let's do this right here. All right. And I have metal, that long metal thing. Let's see. I know I might have one in here too, because I always try to have dupes. But this, what I use to push cuticles back, and this also, I use this to scrape off gel polish, and it works like a champ. But it is definitely a multi-purpose tool. And see, we can get this all cleaned up before we cure it. Because once you cure it, that's it. So right now is the time to get it where you want to get it. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 seconds. Oops, I forgot to cover this and just do one nail. Okay. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now I'm going to definitely put on one final coat. Let me see. All right. So, yeah. Let's put it on 10 seconds. Again. I'll clean this up. And while that is doing that, I'll pull out this. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this glitter flower gel that I got from AliExpress. Maybe even Temu. Not sure. And we'll just use these that are in here. These pretty white flowers. So feminine, so me. So I'm going to just put this however I want it. And then, let's see here. All right, and we're going to get this one down here. All right, and now I'm going to put one right there. And then we're going to put this back. And then just spread this out a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to put it in for 10 seconds. Okay, so that was in for 10 seconds. So there's the nail. Now, I am going to use this top coat. And you can put 2 top coats on if you want. So normally I know what I'm going to do ahead of time. So I'm not going to need to do my illustration nail first. But because I wasn't sure if I was going to like this color, we're going to do a second coat. Nice and thin. I went ahead and did the illustration finger first. All right, and another 10 seconds. This thing right here is strong. 10 seconds cures good most of the time. Sometimes I do 20. Yeah, let's do it one more time. All right. It's done. What do you think? You like it? You like it? All right, so we've got everything going. So now I know that this is the color that I want to use, this new color. I could use any other color. I could use black. I could use a different shade of blue. I could, why won't, what in, okay. I was like, what in the world? I could use this. You've seen this. If you've seen my previous videos, you've seen this blue. I love this blue. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Ugh, hate that though. I think that would be, this would look really good. I think this would look really good. Really good. Whoops. On there. And let's see, what is this one? What does this one look like? Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. Can you see it? You can't tell. Let me turn this off. Okay. But it's a glittery blue black. But when I turn it under the light, you see it's lighter. It's that fluorescent. But really, this is a dark blue black with tons of glitter. So, let's see. But this one right here, this is exactly what you see it is. That would be good. That would actually be really good on this. But I'm going to go ahead and use the same color, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, there's the finished product. Let's see. Oops. Wait a minute. Let me put this in for 10 more seconds. So I thought I was done, but if it doesn't, if my finger doesn't slide across it and it feels silky smooth, then I know I need to put it on again. Now I did 30 minutes when I put the blue coat on for all the nails. This one's still, yeah, let's do this again. So yeah, so it's got to have that shiny, silky, smooth surface. Okay. All right, so let me do it again. Sometimes, depending on the polish, I'll have to go 60 seconds. And this time, I'm 60 seconds. But this is called double. I don't know, can you see it? But I got this on Amazon. All right, so, okay, now it's silky. Oh, yeah. Oops, let's see. This one has to go under a little bit longer. Sometimes it's hard getting the thumb just right because it's laying at an angle, but it should be fine because, nope, I need to do that again. I hate when that happens, but sometimes it depends on it. When this was really thick, and then I put on a top coat that was thick, so. All right, now it's done. Now when I run my finger across it, it's smooth. But I feel like it needs another coat. I really do. All right, so now I can pull this off. And there we go. There is my nail. And for the next 2 weeks, hopefully, I got something right here that I couldn't get off. But what happens is once I get in the shower, it'll just, whatever is on my finger will come right off. And, see, I don't like the smudge, you know. So what might happen, I might put another clear coat on top of this, and I might let it sit again. I don't know. But there's a smudge, but it's not that bad. So that's it, Tawana. I hope you enjoyed our girls' time. And anyone else that's watching, I am not a professional. This is just what works for me. I just hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all, God willing, in the next one. Bye.